The new gen rivalry keeps heating up. It was game, set and match. Sinner. He defeats Carlos Alcaraz in 3 sets. An incredible 3 sets. Didn't go the way I think anyone expected. At least the fashion of the match. But let's get into the reasons which led Sinner to the victory. My name's Henry Tui. Welcome to Post-Match Breakdowns. Subscribe if you love tennis. So just to start off with, let's get into the main key of the match, the serve return dynamic. Both are very good returners, especially Sinner, but both were serving so well at the start of the match that they were holding their serve with relative ease. A tactical point in the first set was Alcaraz's kick serve really disturbing Sinner. It was a high kicker into Sinner's backhand, and he just really struggled on the return, especially to get it deep. And it just led to Alcaraz getting a lot of free points and +1 opportunities. And Alcaraz was acutely aware of its effectiveness. At the 3-4 games, he hit 4 kick serves and held to love. Another tactic from Alcaraz in the first set was his varied return positions. He did a great job varying it. He just didn't give Sinner the same look twice, kept Sinner on his toes. He had to serve very smartly because Alcaraz was always in a different position. And this built pressure on Alcaraz. And at the 4-all game, he double faulted twice in a row and was just clearly disturbed by Alcaraz's variation. That was the keys for serving and returning, but let's get into the general tactics of the match. Because in the points, there was more to play than hit the ball as hard as possible. But I thought I would mention that the quality of the ball striking was sublime. The power both these players have off both wings is just ridiculous. Who didn't think the ball would explode? Throughout all 3 sets, Alcaraz certainly had more variety in his game. He used this world-class drop shot. It could be the best drop shot in men's tennis right now, it's that good. He would loop a ground stroke high and deep, which would force Sinner far back behind the baseline, and then he would go for the drop shot, and Sinner wasn't even close to a lot of them. He was just playing it so well. But both managed to hold on to their serves the entire first set, and then went to a tiebreak. And the tiebreak summed up every point I've mentioned so far. Alcaraz used the kick serve with machine-like consistency, getting so many free points off of it. He varied his return positions, and he used the drop shot clinically, and he hit his 2 best returns of the match, 2 unbelievable returns. He hit a first serve return winner on his forehand up the line, and it was a good serve by Sinner. It was such a surprise. And on the next point, he hit a backhand return, which landed at Sinner's feet, but Sinner still somehow managed to get it back. But with a stunning drop shot and lob combination, he managed to win the point. But I will get onto this more in a bit. Sinner's mental strength was ridiculous. He came back from 5-1 down in the tiebreak to 6-5, but a miraculous dig from Alcaraz sealed the tiebreak in the end, and the first set 7-6. But what a turnaround in the second. Let's get on to Sinner's mental strength, as I just alluded to. Sinner served first, and at the 0-1 game, Alcaraz had 6 break points, which Sinner saved all of them. And in the next game, Sinner earned himself 2 and broke. It was one of those boomerang games where there's so much pressure on Alcaraz's serve, but Sinner ends up breaking in the next game. And by 4-1, Sinner had saved 8 break points and had broken twice, and just looked like a completely different player. He was so focused and dialed in, raising his level to heights that I don't think anybody expected him to reach. And he was just such a mental animal, didn't give anything away, and was so clutch at taking the break points. But what was the difference? How was he allowed to get into these rallies? Sinner just stepped in on the return. That was all he did, and he finally started connecting with the Alcaraz kick serve. Didn't let it jump up, he took it early and took time away from Alcaraz. And as soon as he got his eye in, it was game, set and match. It was brutal. He was getting the ball so deep with so much pace. The +1 opportunities that Alcaraz had flourished on in the first set were a thing of the past. He didn't get any in the second and third set. And this led to Alcaraz's error count skyrocketing, because he suddenly had more balls to hit as Sinner piled on the pressure on Alcaraz's service games. Sinner had a triple break and took the second set 6-1. It was total domination. Into the third set, I was pleasantly surprised. I thought Alcaraz would raise his level, and he did. He dialed back the unforced errors a little bit and did serve better, making Sinner earn the points more. And it was looking like it might turn around again as Alcaraz got another break point chance in the 1-all game. But still, Sinner was a mental ball, saved it, and never let up the pressure he was putting on Alcaraz's service games. It was never ending. Sinner broke Alcaraz the way he'd done all the other times, with devastating returns, giving Alcaraz absolutely no chance to get into the point. Sinner's form was ridiculous. The advantage he had from returning, the front foot he got on was such a hole to get out of for Alcaraz, and there was nothing he could do. He's in such a winning position after the first ball. And Sinner secured the double break in the third and won it again 6-1. So he ended up winning 5-7, 6-1, 6-1. Total domination in the last two sets. Some of the most one-sided tennis I've seen. His level was just ridiculous. So congratulations to Sinner for winning his first title of 2022. And what's really shocking, what the commentators were saying, is he hasn't been past the quarter-final all year, which is hard to believe with how well he's playing. But he did have some injury troubles, caught COVID, things like that. So he's really earned this title. It was a brilliant performance and he now leads the head 2-1. And this new gen rivalry is thrilling. But I feel like it will adapt as they both progress. They're both obviously so young. Sinner 20, Alcaraz 19. But the real weakness in Alcaraz's game is his serve. If he can hit his spots more accurately and consistency, he'll close the gap that Sinner appears to have over Alcaraz. But it was a superb match between the new generation. And that wraps up the Umag Open. I've been your host, Henry Tui. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you love tennis.